All right, let's talk Bryce Young here in the Carolina Panthers, the 7-6 Carolina Panthers, the maybe going to win the division Carolina Panthers. What a huge win for them. We're going to talk about Bryce Young. Obviously, their defense and the turnovers they were able to generate was a huge part of this game as well. But we're going to talk about the offense here and how Bryce Young was able to, have a good game. I think Bryce Young, 2 out of the last 3 weeks, has looked great. Now, unfortunately, the middle game of those three was a very not good game against San Francisco, but we're talking positives. Let's talk positives. Let's see how they were able to have success against, again, debatably the best defense in football up until this point, and here's how. So, there's a lot of stuff like this. You see it's zone coverage, and the concept is a simple one, right? You have two receivers running routes. The shallower route is just going to kind of pull that Rams player who's in that zone further towards the middle of the field, and then you throw over the top. Watch, when this play begins, you see setup route is working. There is a bit of a window. Is this a wide open play? No, but there's a window. I mean, this is how you want this to be schemed up for Bryce Young. Throwing with a little bit of anticipation here. As you see, he makes the throw. It's Jalen Coker who makes the grab, cuts back, gets a little bit more yards as well. That was on a 3rd down and 7. These are obvious passing situations, and they were just kind of schematically working. And I think Dave Canales, who got a lot of criticism last week and deservedly so, really just should get a lot of praise for some of this stuff. Like this play's another one where it's a really kind of clever play. This is on a 3rd down and 8. They're relatively outside field goal range right here. I mean, you could try it. You could try it at the 35, but it would be 52-yarder. You would like to get more than that. So I shouldn't say outside of field goal range, but just it would be a tough one from here. They're going to go with a screen pass, which is interesting, but that's what they want to go with right here. And I think part of the logic is maybe they'll get close enough they can go for it. We know they like to go for it. Also, maybe they'll get close enough just to help the field goal out. You take away the opportunity of a sack where you can't hit a field goal, and I think they just think they're going to make this work. Watch as when Bryce Young takes a snap, he's going to flip it to his running back right here. This is Chuba Hubbard, who is in open space. And look at how well blocked this is down the field. For screen passes, being able to get these blocks is so important, and having receivers buy in and make these blocks is very important, and that's exactly what's happening. Also, as you see, Hubbard's able to blow by not just them, but the safety who came across. Safety was much more shaded up towards the top of the screen. I couldn't see the number. I think that might have been Ted McMillan over there. McMillan had one of the more impactful one catch games you will see because of just how much attention he was getting, constant safety help and things of that nature. A play like this is a good example of what you need when you have, extra attention going elsewhere. So here for the Carolina Panthers, I mean, there's 3 eligible receivers towards the offense's left, so you're going to want to pay attention there anyway if you're the safety, and you have Ted McMillan as one of those 3, so safety is going to be paying a little bit closer attention to that side of the field. Jalen Coker is going to be running a go route on the outside, one-on-one matchup. Also, look down towards the bottom of your screen. Look at the game scenario. This is a 4th down and 3. If they don't convert here, you're giving the Rams the football, decent field position. At this point, that's around where you get a kickoff, but still, decent field position, and you're going to be down 4 points. Young takes the snap, and again, at this point, this is just belief in your player. I mean, you can't know if this is going to work or not until you throw the football, and it's part of where quarterbacks sometimes have to just live or die by the receiver of you have to just put the ball in a spot where you hope your player can make a play. And for Bryce Young, look at this throw. That is a beautifully thrown football. Great route, though, by Coker to get some space, be able to make the grab, and convert there, scores a long touchdown, and that helped set the tone. That was a huge play in the game. It happened a few times, like this one, a 3rd down and 5 situation here for the Carolina Panthers. Again, big spot in the game. This is actually earlier on that drive. You don't want to have to give the ball back to the Rams, but even Dave Canales probably is not going for this one if they don't gain any yards here, right? So, again, it's man coverage for the Rams. The Rams have been great at covering all season long, so it's really kind of surprising that Jalen Coker he chose a great week to have a great week, right? I mean, this was exactly when they needed him. But watch Bryce Young. On this one, this is, okay, is there a window here? Yes. But, you have number 14 for the Rams who's going to kind of desperately try and get back into this play. But watch this throw. Look, I mean, that's just perfectly thrown. So even though it was a tight window, it's still a completion there by Bryce Young. So really good stuff by him. Great stuff by Coker as well. Again, this is the guy who had 150 yards on the season entering this game. He had about 478 the year prior. Well, he has, over 70 in this game. I believe it was 78 was the exact number. That's just that's what you needed in a game like this, was for someone else to step up, and he was able to do it. Although heading over here, sometimes you just need your guy to step up too. So Ted McMillan, as I mentioned, getting a lot of attention, a lot of safety help, has been left off the score sheet up until this point. 4th down and 2, though, down 4 points of 6.5 minutes left. You might just need him to come through. However, before I get into that, you see the concept. There's only 6 guys in coverage, which means that they are sending 5 to rush the quarterback. However, when this play begins, watch this protection. Yes, there was a play action, but oh my goodness, Bryce Young has all day and he's totally protected. And that's just something we haven't seen from this Rams defense all season, is they have been getting pressure on even good offensive lines. I mean, you saw last week, Tristan Wirfs, the star left tackle for the Buccaneers, he was struggling against this Rams defensive line. Well, this Panthers offensive line was really good, especially in pass protection, but also in run blocking in this game, and that was a big deal. You see down the field now, again, this isn't wide open or anything, but Ted McMillan has a step on his guy. You got to put it on him, and Bryce Young puts it right on him. And again, there are criticisms to put on Bryce Young. I don't think he's ever really been a guy who will miss open guys or anything like that. Very rarely. I mean, if he has opportunities like this, he will put it on the money, and that's what he was able to do. And they get that big touchdown. That was the go-ahead touchdown. That ended up being the game-winning touchdown. So huge play. And yes, Ted McMillan and Bryce Young are deservedly getting a lot of credit for what they did. But give the pass protection credit. I mean, this was I think part of why maybe we were surprised to see the Rams coverage unit look not quite as good, is they just had to cover for longer than we're used to seeing. Also, heading over here, so this is going to be a 3rd down and 5 situation. Listen, game situation is huge. You're up 3 points with 2:17 left. The Rams are out of timeouts. You will win the game if you get 5 yards here. And where are they going to look towards? Well, they're going to look towards the guy that has been catching nonstop, Jalen Coker. Really, they're going to look towards the soft spot in the defense. Watch as Bryce Young takes a snap. And this is, quite frankly, this is not great defense by the Rams here. So no one picks him up. And for the guy that's been kind of shredding you all game in the biggest of spots, you would like to have better defense on this one if you're the Rams. But for the Panthers, hey, give them credit. They're taking advantage. For Bryce Young, he's already into throwing motion. He gets rid of the ball, and the Panthers pull off the upset and are able to get their 7th win. They still have work to do if they're going to make the playoffs. They just do. It's the situation. They still have to play Tampa Bay twice, which, we'll see how that goes. The Saints, they have to play, who they did lose to just a few weeks ago, and the Seahawks, who are still very good. But the Panthers just beat the Rams. They can beat anybody. So we'll see what happens down the line. But definitely, they showed what they can do. Now, offensively, again, it really does feel night and day sometimes with Bryce Young. He has these incredible games. Then he, like I'm saying, legitimately, you look at the passer rating the last 3 games, it's 147 this past week, 60 the week prior, and then 123 the week before that. It's insane how up and down that has been. You want more consistency, but the good thing, and part of why I still feel like I haven't given up on him and keep not giving up on him despite kind of the down games, is you just see these flashes pop up. He had that game against Dallas where I thought he played very well. You see this stuff happen. You want more consistency, but it's in there somewhere. And I do think for the Panthers, this season's already been a resounding success. I do think if they can get guys open the way they were in this game consistently, I think you'll see a lot more of these types of Bryce Young performances. I could be wrong, but that's kind of what I think. So yeah, those are my thoughts on all of this. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.